Hello, I'm John.
And I'm Letty. Welcome to the John and Letty podcast.
We want to thank all of you that are watching. Thank you for your time and for connecting.
And today we're going to be talking about the ultimate source of truth. So we're going to be talking about truths for your life, how you're going to live your life, how you're going to deal with your family, your relationships. We're also going to be talking about truths about spiritual matters, life and death issues, and the source of truth that sets our values in life to guide us to make decisions.
That's right, because despite the fact that we are living in the information age, a time where there's so much information available, I would say that there is a crisis of truth.
Yes, there's a crisis of truth. There's so much information out there, and people can go and get all kinds of information, and they don't know if they are listening to just somebody's opinion. They don't know if they're just listening to trends, or people start making up their own truths.
That's right. Now, there are certain characteristics about the truth that it's important to know. For example, truth is unchanging. When you have an absolute truth, something that was absolutely true 1,000 years ago is true today, will be true in 1,000 years. In other words, it doesn't expire and it doesn't go out of fashion with the times.
Yes, also truth does not depend on location and the place that you were born, in the country that you were born. It doesn't depend on your culture or your nationality. It doesn't matter where you are. The truth is the same everywhere.
And something else is that truth does not evolve, in the sense that maybe your thought process evolves as you learn more, as you mature, as you grow, as you get more information. You start to change your way of thinking, but the truth itself, it doesn't change. It's just that with time, we get closer to arriving at what is the truth.
Also, truth does not depend on your own interpretation. Some people think that because they think that way, they interpret that way, it's their truth, but it's not that.
Now, truth either is truth or it isn't truth. Those are the only two options. So the question is, how is it that people can fall into error? Decent people that are looking for truth fall into error. Well, there's a couple of ways that it happens. One is when somebody has incomplete information. When you only have part of the information, then it's easy to come to a conclusion that is actually not the truth. And then there are people that don't have the information, but because they want to know something, they actually just speculate. They come up with something and then they just have that as their truth.
And also there are people that are just deceived. They believe that what they believe is the truth, but they're actually deceived.
And what is the worst case are people that not only that they are deceived, but actually there's some people that know when something is not true and they want to actually deceive others. These are people that actually bring lies. And there's a lot of people that are purposely even speaking lies in place of the truth.
And so, knowing all of those things, how do people find the absolute source of truth?
Well, here, again, we have to consider the things that we saw. We need to have someone that knows something completely so that they don't have a lack of information. We also have to have someone who knows so that they don't have to speculate. And of course, we need someone who does not lie but always tells the truth. So what does that tell us? It tells us that we can't find it in ourselves because we don't always have all of the information. You can't find it in people because also they are limited as well. And you also can't find it in human methods. So I know of just one source for absolute truth.
And I can only think of one, and that source of truth is God as it is revealed in the Bible.
That's right. When you look at the Bible, it reveals God as what? Someone who knows all things, which is all-knowing. So he knows everything. There's no evidence. There's no part of the information that is missing. So he can say with absolute certainty what is an absolute truth. Also, he doesn't have to guess because he already knows. But not only that, it is incapable for God to lie. So when God says something, it is the truth. He's not going to mislead it. He's not deceived, obviously. So whatever he says, we can take that as an absolute truth. God as revealed in the Bible.
So now that we know that God as revealed in the Bible is the absolute source of truth, how is it that he communicates those truths to us?
Now that is actually a very interesting question, because it's one thing to know that God is a source of absolute truth, but the other thing is, how can I receive from God what the absolute truth is? Well, there are actually various ways in which God reveals His truth.
And that is what we're going to be talking about in the next episode. So join us for next time. We're going to be talking about different ways that God communicates the truth to us.
So we'll see you then.